Hello and welcome to Loving Belize. My name's Rose Robin and I'm biking all the way around Belize, interviewing people from all walks of life. I want to find out what Belizeans think of contemporary Belize. I'm also going to be giving free art workshops in rural towns and teaching the children how to do stop animation so they can share their feelings too. I believe the international media has been putting down Belize for far too long, and I want to give the world an opportunity to see, yes, the beautiful keys of Belize, yes, the amazing traditions and food and culture, but also just how beautiful and amazing the people of Belize are.
I lost my heart to Belize 25 years ago and I haven't left. It's an amazing country. It's got so much, as a wildlife biologist, it's got so much wildlife here in comparison to some of the other Central American countries. Yes, there are a lot of issues to do with human-wildlife conflict, but it's still one of the most pristine countries you can come to.
Not got no mercy. They not got no mercy at all. Brimstone fire, me say.
This is called the Bell China Bridge. It was a bridge that was sponsored by China. That's why they call it Bell China, meaning Belize in Chinese.
Lord of mercy, yeah.
Bridge operator. Grease, maintenance and swing.
So where are we heading right now?
The Belize swing bridge, big bridge. The only bridge that swing with the hand in the world.
Right.
Manual
swing
You
bridge.
won't have another bridge like this in the world that swings. Yeah.
Okay.
Right? But
Thank
we
you.
call it big bridge with the small bridge. Right? So some people that born here don't even see this bridge swings.
Excuse me, what's your name, sir?
Calvin Cumberbatch, I'm a traffic officer. We regulate traffic that nobody could come while the bridge is in operating to be swinged. We freeze traffic until the process is done.
So nobody can cross it.
Yes, ma'am.
So who is that? Excuse me, who is this?
Para Haile Selassie, Earth's rightful ruler.
It's from Ethiopia. He's a Rastafari king.
What's your name, sir?
Sydney Trace.
Anything that you would like to say?
Come to my country, please. It's the best. It's the best. This is a blessed country, peaceful and loving people is here. Good food is here too, and good fish. Hi Rose, how you feeling?
Come on.
Do you know what you just did?
No.
You just swing one of the most ancient bridge in Belize today.
Oh, did?
Yes, thank you Rose for helping swing in the Belize swing bridge. You just made history.
You did?
Yes, you
First
did.
white woman to do that?
Yes, you did. You actually the first white person that I see.
Kevin J. Are you from Belize City? What's Belize City like when you were growing up?
When I was growing up, a peace-loving, small, prosperous nation, but right now, the new government, what they're in right now to me, is getting more harsh.
Mm-hmm.
The government, they're not trying their best to make sure that the one who left behind to go back to school so they can start with something productive and stay away from the gangs and the violence.
What's the average working wage for somebody in Belize?
Regular working skills, 35 a day.
35 a day,
35.
regular working skills.
Yeah. I would say food is like $5 to $7.
And how much would rent be?
And rent, you got some people they rent by the weeks, you know, like $700-$500 a week or $400 for 2 bedroom. Rent is getting high in Belize too. Belize police, the highest police brutality. They take you on the beach if you ask some questions. I know I lost a son by the police. Police they killed my son right up there. Son is 16 years old. And he did something wrong here where he should not do. You know? But the police didn't have no right to it. Shot him in the back, take him, beat him up, and then hang him and say he hang himself. At 16, graduate from Fort Farm, just get a scholarship from the church right there to go to a higher to higher education. They just take it away. 16 years old. You know, when they show me, take him and charge him, whatever they do.
What was your son's name, sir?
His name was Kevin Jackson Jr. They killed him in 2009. all I could do, you know, you try to ask them to open an investigation, how they do that, no, they don't want to cover up what they do wrong, because the whole street and everybody, the witness and saw what happened, said that my son was not doing anything wrong, he was running from him and shot him in the back and beat him up and hang him. You know? So, and I am not the only person who's slogan by police. There's many more people. They want to say thanks to the mayor Adriel Bradley, he's doing a great job. So the international community, we got a mayor in Belize who is a great mayor and developing the country, trying his best, you know. So the world know that Mr. Adriel Bradley, he is a great mayor. Nice talent to you.
What did the seashore told the seaside? Wave.
What does Snoop Doggy Dogg wash his whites with? Bleach!
How do you call a black man followed by 1,000 people?
I don't know.
Tiger was on the PGA Tour.
Why did Michael Jackson call Boyz II Men? Because he thought it was a delivery service.
Oh shit. Why do hippos have sex underwater?
I don't know.
How else can you get a 500-pound pussy wet?
What did one sagging tit say to the other sagging tit?
I'll meet you next door.
Nah, if we don't get support soon, people are going to think we're nuts.
What did the hurricane told the coconut tree? Said, hold on to your nuts because this is not an ordinary blowjob.
How would you put an elephant into the refrigerator? By opening the door.
Hello. Okay.
Why does the dog wag the tail?
I don't know.
The tail can wag the dog.
Why does the dog lick his balls?
I don't know.
Because he can. What's your name, mate?
Crab.
Crab.
Stone crab.
Stone crab.
Born in Belize City.
Born in Belize City.
In Belize City, in the slum part of Belize City.
Oh yeah?
Call it Pickdock Street. Wrong barracks.
And how long have you lived here? How long have you lived in Kikoka?
33 years.
33.
Yeah, wonderful. Younger generation. You be enjoying life better than me, how I am trying to enjoy life still. Have a day, have a nice, what do we call this day? A victory day. As the survivors, right? The men that do stand-ups and fight. A happy day, brothers and sisters out there. We are trying. Life is there. It's so beautiful, I just can't understand.
You're alright, Mr. Grab.
And you're the nice, beautiful girl.
Excuse me, do you have any paintings by Nelson Young?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mic check 1 3. Yo, listen. Me have to get up after get the cars. Me belly empty. Get to you them, they do plenty. Not for them, they dead before them 20. Tell me what's wrong with this 21st century. Have to get up.
I use what you call inventive and original. Inventive meaning like I don't use the methods that you would normally use to construct an art. I do what you call a premeditation art. I apply my colors before I do my compositions. I got in my mind exactly what I'm going to do. See, I'm going to prioritize my ambition and say, okay, well, this is my chief ambition, and this is my second, and this is my third. Art would be like third. I am very more inspired in the word and in the music and in the food. I feel like the value of cooking does more for people than painting picture. Unless I would take a person like you and I'm going to cook food for you, I think I would change your life. I would change your health. I would change everything about you, even your happiness. But art does not really go in you. It only go boom bam. It doesn't really have that internal effect. Bongo fire, the art of words, holy beat, You know the Beatles, they sing "Let It Be." They
Yeah.
say "Only Be."
Very cool.
Bongo, you know what bongo means?
No.
It's a drum.
Uh-huh.
Drums are fire.
Uh-huh.
And it's the original communication of man. Art, you know,
Uh-huh.
is life. It's like a virtue. The art of speaking, the art of running, the art of dancing, the art of loving, the art of peace, the art of kindness, the art of mercy, the art of goodness. There are positive art forms that are actions that require the very honesty of the heart. That you cannot fake mercy. If you fake mercy, you will be the first one that will feel it. Also those that you will fake it to. It's just like love. When somebody don't love you, you feel it.
Yeah.
So this man,
Who is that man?
this man is the king. He is the king of the earth. You ever heard about Sheba? Queen Sheba?
No, tell me, who is she?
Queen Sheba was a very famous person that traveled from Africa to Jerusalem, from Ethiopia to Jerusalem to seek counsel and to be acquainted with the person of King Solomon, the son of David, the great king of Jerusalem. And when she came to Jerusalem and met King Solomon, she discovered that King Solomon was a lot greater than she had heard. And she learned very much from him about her soul, her life, and the health of her people and her family. And pregnant for King Solomon.
Oh.
Yes, this is how the Ark of the Covenant is moved from Jerusalem to Ethiopia through a conception.
Okay.
This is how this man, King Selassie, get to inherit in his conception the ability of wisdom. Because this honesty doesn't make nothing have value. It devalues things. The same with corruption. Because you know the big money bill of this world where people are spending a lot of money is just the wages of their wrong. You know, because if you do something right, it brings to you a prosperity. But if you do it wrong, then it costs you money. You want to drink alcohol, you want to smoke cigarette, you want to have a lot of sex, you want to have a lot of car and plane. All these things is many other reasons why right now the people are stressed out in vanity, because sometimes they don't really qualify for things. Because you have to honestly qualify for things. If you don't honestly qualify, then it will stress you and it will be an unhappiness to you. Right now most of the people I see in the world, they have things that I know and they know they did not earn honestly. Right? And it brings to them like a bad shadow, like what we call a bad karma. You know how hard it is for a rich man to throw away his money? It's as hard as for me to put a gun to my head and shoot it. Yeah. As I love life, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Da 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 da.
Excuse me, so what's your name?
My name is Rudolph Boeing.
And how long have you been working at the zoo?
I've been at the zoo about 13 years.
What do you do here?
Well, I do maintenance.
Is it?
Well, the Belize Zoo is a refuge for animals that get hurt.
Oh.
And every time they brought an animal here and we have them on display, they have some defect, you know. It doesn't keep them if they doesn't get hurt.
Okay.
If they are fit to go back in the wild, we release them.
Oh.
This is for Jaguar we have a rehabilitation program.
Okay, and how do animals get treated then?
Rehab. Whenever time a jaguar going around killing your cattle, you will be threatening to kill it.
Right.
So whenever time that happens, we took in that jaguar and we care for that jaguar and train it.
Right.
To be people friendly.
Okay.
Like the maintenance guy, we do sometimes help them to feed, work with the animal, because you gotta work with the animal. They are in the zoo. No matter who you are, what kind of position you hold in the zoo, you still work with the animal.
Right.
And they will be looking at you and getting used to you. Whenever time you call their name, they come.
So what do you think about the zoo?
Well, I think it's a good place for my grandchildren because they will have something to see that will be extinct in our country, because the tapir, they're hunting them, they're eating it. The jaguar, they're killing the jaguar for the hide, the teeth, they make chains and different things. So if we doesn't have the Belize Zoo, our grandchildren would never have the privilege to see jaguar, tapir or scarlet macaque. That they are getting scarce.
Follow wicked hard people, no walking at them drop, no listen when them chat ready. About your friend, hey. Never follow wicked hard people, no walking at them drop, no listen when them chat ready.
Are you by any chance somebody who started?
Yes, I am the person who started it.
I thought so. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm in disguise, but you picked it out. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, well, welcome.
Thank you.
You can go in. You want to go in?
Yeah, I would love to go in.
They're going to beat you up.
How long have you worked here?
3 months.
2 months?
2 weeks, yeah.
In 2 weeks? What's your name?
Joshua.
Joshua, what do you think of the zoo?
The zoo is very great. It's beyond your expectations. If you look closely, you don't get this at other zoos. You can see, watch this. See animals coming up into your face. Meanwhile, at some other zoos where you go, might have them behind glass. Well, this is kind of like their habitat, right? So.
Did you study to come and work here, or?
No.
No?
No.
You just love animals?
Yeah. I love animals and birds.
And realize you should have listened to Chatu, yeah. No follow wicked hard people, no walking at them drop, no listen when them chat ready. About your friend, hey. No follow wicked hard people, no walking at them drop, no listen when them chat ready. About your friend, look out for your friend.
Oh, what happened again? Where did that come from? You!
Oh no.
Is what just happened.
Uh-oh.
Ew. Now that's close proximity to animals.
I'm a Belizean. I do live in this country. I was born here, but I live over in the island, like I told you yesterday, over in Turner's Island. Well, Turner's Island is very big. It's like 36 miles from the north to the south, and from the east to the west it's like 11 miles some parts. But it's divided in many islands, over 80 islands. It's called an atoll. There's no village there. There's only a couple of houses and different spots, but there's some resorts they're building resorts. And some of the island that I live on, there's this guy from Canada. He's a billionaire, and he have a fleet of yachts. Yeah, guys. He have a fleet of yachts, like 100 feet long, 110 feet long, some big boats. And he's building like some big thing on the island. He spent millions of dollars just to fill the property, like a dredge. Like that sucks. Drills and it sucks. I didn't condone it, but it's not easy to say stop these guys or to try to make an effort to stop them because they got big money. These things cause beach erosion eventually. When you make a hole in the water under the sea, with time, the hole can get bigger because you lose the soil. You lose that compact soil. You lose it, and then eventually erosion will take place. But they say that they had environmentalists to guide them.
So how is this going to affect you living on the island?
It already affects me because they were drilling for 3 years. They were drilling for 3 years, and the pipe. There were some big pipes like this that pumps the soil on the land, but it brings water and silt, like the murky water, and it drains off into the area where I put my lobster traps. And for 3 years, day and night, all this silt was draining off. You can just imagine how much murky water that was. Grass beds where the lobster they go in at night and they eat the little clams and stuff like that. But now, most of my grass bed becomes like muddy beds. Like all that silt settle and kill the grass, and it forms lots of areas where big clods of mud. And I reported it to the environmental people, and they say with time it will go. Didn't. My lobster production went down to from 100% to 20%. It's been considered to be like a reserve. They don't want no more big investor to go in and do what that guy did. And at the same time, it will be difficult for a fisherman from this side to go over there and fish. Only if you were traditionally fishing in that area, you will be able to fish in that area. Which is good for me, but not for the future Belizeans. My lobster grounds was passed on to me by my father. And I will be able to pass on mine on to my kids. But it will be so much kids for only little water. They will not be able to go on and set in other areas. So we will just have to use what we have. And 80% of it is already damaged by this guy's. He makes his island pretty, but it makes my lobster grounds ugly. They're already taken 35% of the reef and reserve it. But it's not just reserved like that. You can go in now and take tourists in there. But we, the original people, cannot go in because we will be charged for entering the park without permission. But the tourists can go in. It's like they're taking away our bread because that's where we used to make our money. And now they're making the money from it now. You understand the reverse psychology they did on us?
What's your name?
Adriel Casteneda. I work as fisheries officer for the fisheries department. I'm doing several things. I'm coordinating a program called Managed Access, which is a limited access program trying to go towards a rights-based fisheries management tool called Catch Shares. And that practically is looking at giving an area to fishermen that are traditional, people who are actually real fishermen, people who depend on the resources for them to live. Because one of the main problems that we have is that Belize operates on an open access system which really allows any Belize national to go and have a license to fish. $25, couple documents, and you're free to go to fish conchs, finfish, lobster, anything that you want. So Managed Access is limiting areas within marine reserves specifically designed for traditional fishers. Actually, no commercial fishing should be done with scuba gear. So that limits the depths to which fishermen can actually extract that resource to about 60 feet more or less. All the deep waters is like a reserve. So that in essence is what we think is like a habitat for the adult conchs and lobster and big fish, so that they continue supplying our inshore fishery. Well, the lobster is stable. The production annually is somewhere around 728 metric tons. The conchs this year we increased the quota to 1 point something million pounds. So it's way above from what we usually operated, because our stock assessments are saying that the density is high enough and we can continue providing because of the good management that we're putting in place for us. Fishermen tend to believe that when we talk about reserves, it's just a big area closed completely for fishermen, but reserves are actually divided into 3 zones. The preservation zone, which allows for complete preservation. Nobody can either do research or extraction or anything of that sort. We have a conservation zone where research is allowed, and we have a general use zone, which is normally the biggest portion of the marine reserve. Somewhere around 80% is general use, and where fishermen can actually fish. So if you recall Managed Access, that general use zone will be limited for traditional people who are actually there every year, every month, constantly fishing that same fishing ground. So they would feel ownership and become more stewards of the resources in that sense.
Hello, please tell me your name.
Zoe Walker.
Zoe Walker, and where do you work?
With the organisation Wildtracks.
Wildtracks, and were you one of the founders of Wildtracks?
Yes.
How long have you been working at Wildtracks?
22 years, 23 years.
And what do you do at Wildtracks?
A whole combination of things, from conservation planning, rehabilitation of wildlife, conservation of wildlife, or assisting with sustainable development in communities. So far we've done 3 tour guide trainings that have successfully assisted fishermen to become tour guides. But not all fishermen want to be tour guides, not all fishermen want to work with tourists. So whilst a lot of the time people are saying, tourism is the way to go, it's not necessarily what most fishermen want to do. So other avenues are, well, used in Sartaneja are pig farming, tilapia farming, chicken farming, a lot of small projects like that are growing with a focus on actually making sure that there is a market to make the product sustainable. So taking it right through from the initiation through to the market of the product to make sure that it's more than just a one-off sustainability project, but that it has long-term financial sustainability. Depends on what the community needs, rather than an outside perspective of what people think they need.
So what do you think it's like being a fisherman today in Belize?
Very hard. I have a lot of respect for them. It's not an easy job. It's not an easy job at all. And they don't necessarily get all the support they need from the government in the way that some other industries do.
What kind of problems are the fishermen facing?
Depleted fish stocks, depleted health of the reef. Also, maybe one of the major ones, or the 2 major problems, are the lack of a cap on fishermen numbers, and incursions by Guatemala, Honduran fishermen, particularly in the south of Belize. But even those are stretching all the way up to northern Belize.
And what is the government doing to help stop this problem?
It's using managed access as a mechanism for trying to control the numbers of fishermen within a particular protected area. They've got 2 pilot sites at the moment, which are Glover's Reef and Port Honduras. And for the fishermen using those areas, it's proving very, very successful. It's giving a lot more management of the stock to the fishermen, a lot more of the responsibility. I think that fishermen need to give managed access a chance. For those traditional fishermen, for those fishermen and their families who've been fishing Belize for a long time, it protects their interests and it involves them in a way that they've never been involved before. And there's been a lot of past historical conflict between, for example, Fisheries Department and fishermen. If that can be resolved, then I think they'll find that managed access will really, really help them. So they should give it a chance.
Has it helped replenish the waters?
Where it's being done at the moment? Mm-hmm. Yes. Glover's Reef is an excellent example of managed access actually working. Of fishermen going at the start of the season and finding increased numbers of lobster and conch.
I am Roy Flores.
And what's the name of your tour as well?
Little Kitchen Adventure Tours. We'll be doing like 1, 2, 3, at least about 4 or 5 different ways of fishing.
You must be wise, my sister. You must know the capabilities of man, what they'll do unto you. Yeah. And when you're riding through the valley of the evil, be careful of bad-minded people. Put your trust in the Lord and ask Him to guide and protect you. Cause man, I know God will be there for you. I know He will see you through. And man, I'm sure He will guide you through whatever you need Him to. He'll not give you no more than you can bear. Have no fear, trust He'll never leave you in despair. And when you are in need in a difficult time, I bet you will be right there.
Beautiful, that's upcoming artist, hallelujah.
Yeah, we just got off stage, man, and it was amazing. The crowd was into it. You heard them singing? They were singing Swagger, man.